Howdy, y'all. I'm Clay.
And I'm Lloyd.
And we are Iron Sharpening Iron with the Kaler Boys.
That's us.
It is. It is. Man, today is the first day of February 2024. It doesn't even seem right.
Sure enough.
Man,
it's cruising along.
Fast.
Yeah. Now, next Friday.
Yeah.
Not tomorrow, but next Friday, my grandson leaves Shepherd.
Yeah.
And he goes home to Cincinnati.
Now, this is Alex, who's brand new in the Air Force.
New.
We've talked about him on the podcast
he's
before.
Brand new pinger.
Yep, pinger. I forgot about that.
I know. I was talking about that
funny.
last night with Nate last night with him and Mama and my beautiful bride and Leslie.
You know, I've always told the story about
and Leslie. She is sparked on her rejoined her dream career.
Right.
Got out of the sheriff's office, the jailhouse, which I am so glad.
Right.
I hated that job, Clay.
Oh, yeah.
I hated it. Well, she got assaulted twice while she worked there.
Yeah.
And that's just going to continue to happen.
Sure.
Because you have 500 inmates in there that don't like you.
Yeah. Daryl Gates, he was the chief of police of Los Angeles back in the 90s. And I heard him say one time that he said corrections is the toughest beat in law enforcement. Because you're always outnumbered and you're unarmed.
Yeah, and none of them like you. And all of them wouldn't mind doing you some harm.
Right.
And they're not top end of society.
No.
I know some of them just have made a mistake, but the majority of them are repeat customers. Yeah. But anyway, she's out of that, and she is starting her new hair. Going to go to work at a hair salon, and that
just tickles me.
Ooh, that made me so happy last night.
Yeah, no
she
doubt.
Told us about that.
No
that
doubt.
Makes me just beaming proud and happy.
You know, something I remember going back to the pingers. Something I remember growing up is we would go into Wichita Falls for something, and if you're anywhere near the Air Force Base, you would see these pingers, and we called them pingers because of their haircuts. They got that buzz cut. And
you know what Mom said the reason was?
Uh-oh.
Because I knew it was something to do with the buzz cut. I don't know a specific reason.
Yeah.
And she said, well, it's because you could flick their hair and it would go ping. I don't ever remember. We both had haircuts like that, even when you had hair. Believe it or not, he had hair.
Yeah.
They didn't go ping
ever. No, that's just our mama.
That's so funny.
What I would remember is we would go somewhere to a store or something in public, and you would see these guys, and they would have their New York, New Jersey, Midwest, North Midwest accents, and they would be wearing brand new boots, brand new Wrangler jeans, and a brand new hat.
Yep.
They've been in Texas 3 weeks.
Hey. Well, they say I wasn't born here, but I got here quick as I could.
Right, yeah. Oh, man. So before we click the on button, my brother Lloyd and I, we were talking about the fact that February 1st, well, yesterday was January 31st, and it was 72 degrees.
Man.
That damn
springtime
warming.
I know it.
And
to cook us all.
Man, I'm telling you, it's just been beautiful the last few days.
I'll tell you who I feel sorry for.
Who's that?
Is the Obamas.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, because they own that mansion right next to the sea, and the sea level's rising.
What are they going to do?
Well, they'll just have to buy another mansion.
Well, they'll be homeless. They'll be displaced. You know what they could do? They could move it, I'd let them move into my front yard.
Would you?
I would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Barack and Michael?
Sure.
Yeah.
Keep the noise down. keep the noise down. No pets allowed.
Oh, good.
I better not hear no barking.
Have you heard all this saber rattling about her running for president?
Yeah. I don't paddleboard, and I know how to swim, so I'm cool.
Yeah. How about we do
let's stop.
Scripture of the day?
Yeah, let's stop.
Now's a good time to do that.
Let's get off that.
You know what? I love the book of Philippians.
Almost as much as you like Romans.
Almost. The book of Philippians is all about joy. That's a good message. You know, and something I always make sure that people understand. I want you guys to understand this.
This is so God. This is because what I've got on my mind today.
There's nothing joyful about it. Huh?
And I need to, this is for me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, God. How many times thanking you?
How many times does that happen?
All the time. It happens constantly.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice in church, especially when you're real down in the mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and not even if you're there. And that's when it's just like so unbelievable. Is I listen to several sermons online.
Right.
I don't get a lot. The way I work, we don't get a lot of opportunity to go to church. But
Right.
We listen to a lot of, and I listen to a lot of
you
different
got Andrew Womack, and you got Pastor John, you got me,
you,
and you got
Robert Morris. I like listening to him, but and I like listening to Perry Stone too. He's crazy.
Yeah,
he's crazy. He's excited. He's energetic. He's been that way his whole ministry.
Right.
He ain't lost a beat or a step as far as they say. I mean, he is a wild child, wild man. But anyway, listen to. He got me all sidetracked.
Well, so
what happened is when you listen to one of them and what you're dealing with or thinking about or been praying about
is
all of a sudden they're covering. Yeah, they're covering. It's there, and just like this, it's happened on this podcast a few times.
It has,
and it's happened again this morning, and it's not coincidental.
No. Adrian Rogers.
I knew you was gonna say
Adrian Rogers said a coincidence is when God chooses to remain anonymous.
Yep, and this is not coincidental because this is without a doubt fingerprints is all over this.
That's right. There's something that people have to understand about joy, and it only applies to believers. That's an important point, and that's the difference between happiness and joy. Happiness is based on your circumstances. You get up in the morning, and the temperature is just right in the house. You can smell the coffee brewing. You smell the eggs and bacon cooking. You get your shower and you get dressed and everything.
Yeah, plenty hot water.
You're happy. Then you walk out of the house and around the corner to get in your car and go to work, and you see your car sitting on 4 flat tires. Happiness is fleeting. It's based on your circumstances. Joy is something that it's one of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, and it's present no matter what you're going through. And Philippians is all about being joyful. And Paul gives us a key to experiencing the joy that we have. All right? And we're in Philippians chapter 4, beginning verse 8. Listen to what Paul says. Finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are noble, whatever things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever things are lovely, whatever things are of good report, if there is any virtue, if there is anything praiseworthy, meditate on these. What Paul is telling us is there's an old hymn. Count your blessings, name them one by one. Count your blessings, see what God has done.
Brandy would be already joined in.
Oh, yeah.
She knows them old hymns.
That's a great old song. And you look at the good things in your life and you meditate on those as opposed to dwelling on the other.
Man, we ain't supposed to boast or brag or nothing like that.
Right.
But I'm professional at that.
Are you?
I am.
Yeah, I'd say you are.
I am.
I've seen it.
I am.
I've seen it.
There's a good in something all the time.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. Even when your fuel pump goes out.
Right.
Yeah. On your way to work.
Yeah.
Or you have a flat tire while you're at work.
Yep.
But no matter what it is, dude, I remember standing up in church at Thanksgiving, and one of the things I was thankful for was Brandy's stroke and the way she has recovered.
Yep.
And
well, that's what led you to the Lord.
Well, and so much more too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, obviously that's super thankful for.
And it's had an impact on your kids.
Well, all of my kids, every one of them.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. Shauna ended up ministry college over it with it and graduated through it. And I mean, it brought every one of the kids.
Now she's a missionary on a Navy ship.
Yeah. Oh, I talked to her the other day.
Yeah.
That would be awesome if she could call us like right now.
Right. You know, like she did at one time.
It's all by chance and it's all through Facebook when they're allowed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they'll open their communications. They have no idea what that means. I mean, I'm sure all technical. I'm sure they flick a switch on and allow inside outside communications to enter and get received from them. So and so you can call your folks, your people.
And I guarantee you that all depends on geographically where they are.
Yeah.
Because if they're in a hot zone where, that could be intercepted and can pinpoint their location.
Right. Oh, yeah. Sacrifice their security. But it's funny. I said, so where are you at? She said, well, I'm on a boat. And I said, okay. And I might have said something else, but I said, okay. And I said, so
where's the boat?
Yeah, I said, where is the boat? She said, well,
in the ocean.
She said, we're currently floating in the ocean. And she said, and it's all I can say to you. I was like, oh, you're being cryptic. And I'm not sure if she's being funny or not.
That is called OPSEC, operational security.
But she sure was giggling about it.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm floating in the ocean.
So you got your baby girl floating in the ocean in a boat. You got your grandson, 2 stops, and then in Japan.
Yeah, he goes Cincinnati and then Seattle and then.
What's in Cincinnati?
It's
I didn't know there was an air base.
Like some kind of, I don't know. What I think he was kind of describing it to me in his this generation language, and
yeah,
I don't know, a whole lot of acronyms. You know, they can't say auxiliary course.
He just turned 21, right?
No,
20.
He's 18.
18. Good Lord.
He's it's some kind of like a training thing.
Yeah,
it's more training. Yeah. It's more training, and they go there for 2 weeks, but he can be at home and he can go there.
Yeah,
you know,
that's right, because and
go do this training, and then from then he goes to Seattle and he's there for I think a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that's all in preparation of going overseas, shots and physicals.
Oh yeah,
and
more
that training,
all of that
on
stuff.
What to do, not to do, how to prevent running out of the room saying it's a boy. I explained that to him.
Yeah,
he said, Paul, he's got a lovely, lovely girlfriend, and she's awesome. I mean, awesome. Miss Natalie, and I love her already.
Yeah.
Only met her one time. She's wonderful.
Now, is she here or in Ohio?
No, she is in Ohio.
Okay.
And anxiously anticipate him getting home.
Oh, there you go.
I communicate with her a little bit on Facebook, and but yeah, he's like, I will not be in that position. I said, that a boy.
I know when I went overseas to Germany the first time, I had to go through a class, and basically I had to obtain a German driver's license. You had to learn all the street signs because they're all in a foreign language.
Yeah,
and they don't look anything like our own, and you had to learn all the, So that was kind of interesting.
Couldn't he just play follow the leader? I think I can catch on.
Yeah.
I know how to drive.
Now, anyone that was driving over there had to have
this
military version of a German driver's license. So, same thing for Korea. When I went to Korea, it's the same thing, and so I'm sure he'll be doing some of that training too.
Oh yeah,
man, he is on the threshold of such adventure right now.
Oh, and it's I was telling him, I was like, it's so just wide open.
And he graduates Friday, right?
Yeah. Not tomorrow.
Not tomorrow.
No,
right.
Following Friday.
Following Friday. Is that something that people can go to?
No, and I talked to him last night about it, and he's like, and it's just gonna be like they're gonna give us our little certificate in the hangar.
Really?
And we're packed. Yeah. There's no fanfare anymore. There's no invite. Dude, when I graduated basic training.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was a parade. It was a thing.
Oh, and
when I graduated AIT in Maryland, it was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Our military is.
I ever tell you about my AIT graduation? Mm-mm. So I did basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, in August. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did mine in Fort Knox, Kentucky, in December.
I know Fort Knox.
And snow that deep.
Agony and misery.
Yeah. Well, in December it's extra. Just like yours was extra in the winter, or mine in the winter, yours in the summer.
Remember, I did most of my career at Fort Knox, so
and that's extra in the winter.
I know that post.
That is extra.
And then I went to Fort McClellan, Alabama for AIT, which no longer exists, by the way. That was where they did MP school, and it was graduation day at AIT, and me and my buddies are sitting around. We're congratulating each other, all proud of ourselves. We're now in military police, and we made it. We did all this stuff. And yesterday I could not spell MP, and today I R1.
Yeah, buddy.
And while we're standing around laughing and celebrating this moment, not the battalion, the training brigade command sergeant major approached us. And he said, Kaler, you have been selected for special training assignment. Do you accept? and I was terrified that the brigade command sergeant major knew my name.
No doubt.
And he had 2 E7s with him. And I looked at him, and of course, I'm at parade rest, and I said, well, what is it, Sergeant Major? And he looks at me and he says, do you accept?
Yes, sir.
When you put it that way, Sergeant Major, I guess I do.
Yeah.
And so one of those E7s grabbed me by the arm and put me in a sedan, and the other one went back to the barracks and packed up my stuff. And they drove me out to the airfield at Fort McClellan, Alabama, and there was an Army jet sitting there. And the E7 that was with me, he says, get out and get on that airplane. Yes, Sergeant. I get out, and there are civilians and black BDUs with weapons. And I approach this airplane, and this dude looks at me. He says, you get in, sit down, and shut up.
Yep.
I get in this little Army jet, and there's a dude in there. He's another trainee, and he looks every bit as scared as I feel.
Sure.
And we flew out of there and went to an undisclosed location that I later found out was Fort Carson, Colorado. We picked up 2 other dudes, and then we went to another undisclosed location that I later found out was Fort Belvoir, Virginia. And that's where we went through 18 weeks of training to become personal protection agents for general officers. And so it turns out the civilians and black BDUs were a combination of Army CID and Secret Service. And that was some tough training, dude. That was tough training. But man, I'm glad I did it.
Did you ever get to go to Area 51?
No, I did not. I didn't make it anywhere near there. I went to Fort Knox, and I was.
What do you think about? What do you think? What's your thoughts on that? What's your thoughts on all that?
I don't know, man.
Let's not get into the whole picture. Is too big to give your thoughts on.
Right.
What's your thoughts on like that Area 51 is where they're keeping spaceships that they've recovered?
I am too ignorant to have an informed opinion. I'll start off with that.
Okay, I can.
Now the cover story of Area 51 makes sense to me. It's kind of like Aberdeen Proving Grounds. It is a research facility for new technology, and some of that makes sense. I mean, you know, I was in the Army. I was overseas. I was in Saudi Arabia at the beginning of the Gulf War. I was in a guard shack, or it was a guard tower. I was in a guard tower. It's probably about 2:00 in the morning, and I heard the weirdest humming sound I'd ever heard in my life. And then all of a sudden, there was an explosion over my head that knocked me to the ground, and I had a nosebleed. And I later found out that it was a stealth fighter that had hit Mach 1, about 1,000 feet above me.
Yeah.
And that airplane had never been seen before the Gulf War. It had never made a public, and it was developed at Area 51. The cover story works.
Sure.
You know. Now, what else is going on there? I don't know.
I'm not informed enough to make like you said, to make an informed decision either.
But I saw the movie Independence Day.
I did too. That's real. That's real.
Right.
It's real. And see, here's my thought on the whole bit.
Yeah.
I think it's
distraction.
Yeah. I think it's looking at. You know, they've had congressional hearings where people have said that we have entities. They said, are they human or non-human? They are non-human.
Right.
Well, then I mean
that could be a slug.
Well, no, they said they are not of this world.
Right.
They said they are extraterrestrial.
Yeah,
they are ETs. They're from another freaking planet. And they flew here and crashed. And we extracted bodies out of these living organic bodies, beings out of here. And it, you know, if you're gonna go and be that public, we'll be all the way public.
Right.
Well, and say, well, here they are, and this is what we learned.
Did you hear what Joe Rogan said after that? Joe Rogan on his podcast,
I've heard quite a bit of stuff that he said in relation to that.
He said that there was just what you said. He said there were just congressional hearings where the U.S. government has admitted that there are aliens. They have visited us, and that we have their cadavers. And he said this was a public announcement made by the federal government, and nobody cares.
Well, because we all think it's BS.
Well, and we've got so much else going on.
It's a smoke show. It's a smoke show, man.
It's a distraction.
If you would have really been the announcement, I mean, if I discovered gold in them there hills, somebody want to see the gold.
Right.
The bank ain't going to say...
Now, wait a minute. We saw the pictures of the alien bodies out of Mexico, those paper mache aliens.
The ones that they duplicated from the 19-whatever movie E.T.
Oh, my gosh.
They were rejects from that.
Yeah.
They were a school project from one of them professors'
grandkids
on the movie E.T.
Oh, my goodness.
And they did a paper mache. Her and her little brother both did one, so they'd feel included. And he's like, them aliens right yonder. Looks like they've been dug up, too, because they were paper mache.
Yeah.
Well, look at the India spaceship landing on the moon.
Oh, gosh. Oh, that's hilarious.
And the China one.
The India one was worse than old episodes of Lost in Space.
Yeah. Where the little tinfoil thing is hovering like this behind a black curtain.
And they're trying to sell that like it's real. The colors of their space capsule.
I can take my phone. I have a Samsung, I don't know, XYZRD, whatever the number it is. I don't even know. Anyway, it's got a really, really good camera.
Yeah.
And I can take my phone and zoom in and get like telescopic
craters on the moon.
Yeah, telescopic photos of the moon.
Yeah.
And I take a whole lot of them because it's really cool. I don't know. I like doing that. And I can do that with a cell phone.
Yeah.
I don't have the capability.
You don't have the Bollywood equipment and everything.
And I don't have the capability of landing on the moon either.
Right.
Or even getting off the earth high because I don't jump no more. You know that. You know, the only way I'm getting a lot of air is if I fell off a cliff.
Right.
But I can take those pictures. If I had the capacity to fly and get near the moon, I would surely get a better photo than that. and who took the photo?
Yeah, exactly.
Who was the one? Funny. Did they drop somebody off?
They parachuted out of the space capsule.
Or did they drop that camera, that quick shot 110 roll of film?
If y'all haven't seen this, you gotta look it up. Just Google or DuckDuckGo. Use DuckDuckGo.
That lines up with the thing that I'm edgy.
You got to look at this. But before you do, I got one thing I got to do. I employed my laser engraver, and I made some clarification on here. This is a gift that I made for my brother Lloyd, and that matches my T-shirt. It says, "My mom didn't raise no dummy, but if she did, it was my brother Lloyd."
So he's got hate for me and Frank. Wow.
I just wanted to.
We did nothing but care for you when you was little.
That is not true at all. I was there. I have a memory.
I remember good.
My brother Lloyd, after I was grown, when I came back from the Army and I was bigger than him, that's when the beating stopped. And he told me, he tried to make this excuse. He says, "I wasn't being mean to you. I just felt like it was my job to toughen you up."
It was. If somebody stomped at you, you might have got an owie.
Oh my goodness! All right, so you got something on your mind?
Man, I just it's so disheartening watching any kind of news.
Oh, I know.
And I'm not talking about the legacy mainstream media that we shouldn't be watching anyway, because good Lord, that's disheartening anyway.
I don't know. I haven't watched it in years.
Well, I
avoid it.
I see clips about it.
Yeah.
I see clips that they play.
Did you see the clip of Joy Reid on a hot mic?
Yes,
I did. My God, that's hilarious.
And I don't know. They're just so biased, so one-sided.
Mm-hmm.
And like that Rachel, Maddow.
Oh my God.
She gets up there, and she's talking about she don't want Trump on the. We ain't gonna play his.
Right.
This is news. Whether you like him or not, it's news. He just won by a landslide. This little caucus going on.
They're not going to show it.
But they're not going to show it because they have to be responsible for anything that they knowingly is mistruth or whatever. Right. This is another man speaking. They're not responsible for the words that come out of his mouth. Anyway, she's the one that said, take the vaccine. The COVID will stop with you.
Yeah.
You won't go to the hospital. You'll be cured.
Right.
We'll eradicate it off the world.
Can't get it or spread it or all of that. Yeah.
The masks are working. The 6 foot is working. We're finding all this out to be lies, and that they knew it was lies.
Yeah. Well,
the disinformation
made it up on the
disinformation about Russia that the media knew was a lie because they colluded with the FBI and mainstream media to suppress that, including
the Hillary Clinton campaign.
Yeah, including Twitter and Facebook and other media all did what they could to suppress the laptop and turn the or make up the Russia colluding story. That's all been proven in court now.
Yeah.
And, you don't, that's not what side you're on.
And here's the crazy thing about it. With all of the airplay that all of these stories got, once they were disproven, you never heard a retraction or an apology or
nobody said, you know what, we were wrong. We spoke too soon.
Nope.
No, it's all about this.
Just pretend like it didn't happen.
And here's my whole point about it, man, is why does this got to be us against them? We're all Americans.
I know,
everybody, man. The people in the government, the people in the news media, the people that aren't in the government, the Republicans, the Democrats, the different people of different races, of different cultures. We're all Americans, but it's a war inside of here, and it is us against them, and you don't even know who them is.
Right.
All the time, unless they come up and say, I go by they, them. You got a pretty good idea then.
Yeah, that's one of them.
But what the hell? It is so disheartening, man.
Well, and here's the thing. We have lost, in our society, we have lost one of the primary principles of American society. And that is that the government are supposed to be representatives chosen from among the people that answer to the people. And that's not the case anymore.
No.
That hadn't been for a while.
They govern their own selves with their own policies and vote on their own things.
For their own pocketbooks.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
that's
all about money.
I mean, here we go with, hey, man, thinking about giving me and you a raise. We just have to agree on it. What do you think?
I think it's a good idea. I think we should double our salary.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
All in favor, say aye.
There we go.
Yeah.
And then we can announce it. Oh, hey, by the way, thank y'all for your tax dollars. We've doubled our salary this week because we deserve it.
That's right, because we're working really hard, and you don't have anything to say about it.
Then we're going to go on vacation for 482 days.
Which is one of the reasons that I am so biased against Nikki Haley.
She's a rhino.
She's a rhino. She's corrupt. And when I say corrupt, I mean in the sense of it's all about her money.
Look how she made her money. I don't know enough details to go to speaking about it, but I heard different people saying something about it. And the first I heard about it was during the little campaign, and that's a lot of mudslinging.
Sure.
And you believe about nothing they say, nothing. I believe zero that they're up there saying, well, this guy did that and this guy did that. Because when they're up there saying it, they truly mean it, and they're putting on a performance.
Yeah.
I mean, they're that's part of being a politician.
Yeah.
So I believe nothing. But then later you start reading stories that relate to it, and then you start seeing things that are coming out. And there's some shady stuff that went on in her little career to get all of.
Well, she was not a millionaire when she became governor, but she was when she left the governor's office. And I guarantee you that the South Carolina governor doesn't pay millions of dollars a year.
And not a 1 million millionaire.
Right.
She was a multi. Yeah. And I don't know, man.
And
it's just like fleecing the sheep. Constant. And
I don't remember who it was that said it, but there was a guy that made a really brilliant point. He said, why are we spending all of this taxpayer money and all of these funds and all of this time investigating a billionaire who became president and lost money, and not investigating Congress people who went to Congress and became multimillionaires?
Because there's more people that went to Congress and became millionaires to push chasing after the billionaire who wanted to expose the corrupt on that side.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
And by the way, that's not a Democrat and Republican thing. That is a congressional thing. It's both sides.
Yes. Yeah.
That's where people talk about the uniparty.
and the rhinos, the Republican, in name only.
Mitch McConnell is just useless.
Oh God, that's sad.
Oh, a lot of it is, brother.
A lot of it is. We had one of the congressional members recently died, and may she rest in peace. She served for a long time. She was 91 or 92.
I'm not going to say that she served.
Well, she was there for a long time.
She was there for a long time.
But I watched one of the things that they were voting on, and when it got to her,
and her aides,
she was like confused.
She went into a speech.
And started talking about something that had zero related to it, and they're like, just say aye. Just say aye.
Yeah, one of her aides.
Just say aye. They had to repeat and repeat and repeat. And it was very sad to watch. It truly was. She's a poor old woman that shouldn't have been put in that position.
Right. And
so she should have been somewhere sipping tea with her girlfriend, laughing and giggling over a bridge or something. And not in that spot.
But
they had her as a puppet in that spot. That's horrible.
Well, and keep in mind, that's Dianne Feinstein you're talking about, and she's also the one that back in the 1990 crime bill said that if she had the votes, she would have pushed forward for an all-out ban on all semi-automatic firearms.
Well, and that's the position. But to do her like that at that age, she had no.
Well, and let me clarify my comment about Mitch McConnell. I'm not even talking about his mini strokes that he's had on camera or whatever that is.
I don't know what that is. That's scary.
But he's been useless to the Republican Party his entire career.
Oh no,
he is nothing but an appeaser. He's weak. I mean, even he was. If I remember right, I think I'm right. I want to say he was in Congress during the Reagan administration.
Yeah, he's been there forever, and that's another reason why we need to have the term limit.
Oh God, yes.
I mean,
wouldn't that be amazing?
And what's that Vec guy? What's his name? The one that running president.
Oh, Vivek.
Vivek. Yeah.
Ramaswamy.
Ramaswamy Vivek. I still don't know whether.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. There's once again some stuff in his past that I don't know about, and I'm so distrusting of any of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he said he proposed a very good idea that I'm 100% for. It was term limits, and while you're in your term, you can't invest in no stock that you got control of. That just makes common sense to me.
Yeah, well, I'm sure Martha Stewart would agree with that.
Yeah, how much big of an edge? Well, they call it insider trading.
Yeah.
If me and you were voting on, I don't know how water was going, what meters were going to be used in Burkburnett.
Yeah,
and they're not going to be used now. It's going to be next year.
Right.
And so what me and you, it's up to us.
Yeah.
And we got these 3 or 4 meter companies that we're going to decide on. And once we make our vote, well, it's sealed in gold.
Right.
It is carved in stone. That's what we're doing. So we're like, hey, man, check out this stock.
Yeah, I'm going to invest in this meter company.
Yeah, because they're going to come in and spend, $6 million just in Burkburnett.
Right.
They're doing it Wichita County, and which would be a county.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good number there.
Yeah.
And and if they do this and do it good, maybe they'll do other. I don't know. This would be the way to go.
Right.
So we're going to pour money investing, and all of a sudden their stock goes up.
I saw a graph.
I mean, it's just how wrong would that be? Well, it's called insider trading. There's laws against it. But once again, man, if you're taxpayer dollar paid, you
can get away with
anything. You're not accountable for nothing. You can pull the fire alarm and say it was the front door key or the front door latch or ringing the doorbell or you was calling for room service or whatever lie you want to.
Well,
as an ex-superintendent of schools,
Ilhan Omar giving a speech and in the speech saying that as a Republican or not a Republican, as a member of Congress, her number one priority is Somalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Somalia first.
And that the Americans should bow down to Somalians' needs and wants and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's just disheartening as hell. And I mean, that's that whole us against them.
Yeah.
Why? We've created this in our own United States. We've created this situation where it's us against them.
Yep.
And you don't know who them is, man. And I don't know. Sad.
Yeah.
Absolute sad the position that we've got ourselves into.
Well, I sent you a video last night, and it the armed attorneys. If y'all are
another example.
Yeah,
another example.
If y'all are at all interested in Second Amendment information, look up the armed attorneys on YouTube.
Yeah,
they are phenomenal. I watch them all
They're
the
out
time.
of the Houston area.
Yeah, they are. They are. And what they are is it's a law firm that specializes in protecting gun rights. And but anyway, they had an episode on last night, and I watched it and I shared it with my brother Lloyd about how the Veterans Administration is tricking veterans into losing their Second Amendment rights.
That's the key word.
Yeah,
is tricking.
Yeah,
and they are. This is underhanded, us against you bullshit, man. This is. So go ahead. Well, sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Just aggravating. So aggravating.
And one of the things that they talked about is if you're a veteran and you seek treatment because you can't sleep at night, because you're dealing with PTSD, because you're struggling with depression, that all gets reported to the NICS system. In the NICS system, when you buy a gun, you have to fill out this application, this form. It's an ATF form. And one of the questions on the form is, do you suffer from mental deficiencies or defects?
Yeah.
And if you answer yes to that, then you are not eligible to buy that firearm.
Right. And if you answer no, and they've already reported you.
Now you're lying on a federal form, which, of course, Hunter has shown us has no consequences whatsoever.
Oh, well, then we can just do it. Unless you're Republican. and then it's frowned on.
Yeah.
And
by the way, I saw that came out just a week after Governor Abbott said, if you're a Texan, you should be armed.
Yeah.
You need to be armed.
And they were saying that, one of the ways they trick them is they offer them, what's that fancy word there?
I had it and I lost it.
It's somebody that helps you take care of, one of the things they said, take care of not just your affairs.
Right.
But like they were saying, like some fundraisers, and you wanted help with organizing these.
Right.
Just organizing. I know I'm just a dumb old hillbilly from Burkburnett, and if I was going to organize a fundraiser, I need some assistance.
Yeah.
I would need some help. As a matter of fact,
fiduciary. Yeah. That was the word.
As a matter of fact, I did a fundraiser one time when Brandy had her first stroke. And, of course, our sisters and so many people jumped in and helped that knew what they were doing.
Right.
And Cindy was a tremendous help in it, but I would have been kind of lost. It wouldn't have been near successful. I knew what to do when somebody told me. I'm good at listening.
Yeah.
I'm real good at following instructions, and that's why I've been married for a long time. I'm good at that.
Yeah.
But if they offer it in such a way like we're doing you a favor, so underhanded, man, so us against them. Oh, I see you're under a lot, and a lot of strain.
You got a lot going on in your life.
And I still appreciate you fighting and willing to die for my freedoms while I'm sitting over here in my comfy office, tricking the rest of your buddies. But I do appreciate it, by the way. Thank you. But can we offer maybe some help, and we can help organize some of this stuff?
Yeah,
and as soon
as kind of help you with maintaining your books and all of that.
Yeah, and you're like, well, yeah, that would be helpful, man. They're like, yeah,
now all of a sudden you're incompetent.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And how horrible us
and that's
against
our
them.
Federal government doing that to veterans of our military.
Well, where do you, as a veteran, where do you go for health care and treatment for stuff?
Well, go to the VA.
And at the VA, you should be. I mean, a doctor. They even said that on that deal. A doctor can't even disclose this kind of information.
Right, HIPAA.
In the real world, a doctor can't, but that VA doctor can run and spoil.
Yep.
But they're also trying to pass legislation to stop this.
Yeah, they are, and
I hope that is. I mean, that's horrible, dude.
Yeah, and
it's just once again, it's so us against them.
Every time I go to the VA, and any of y'all that are veterans, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. You go through the pre-screening where they take your blood pressure and check your temperature and everything, and then they ask you questions about, do you drink, do you smoke, are there any firearms in your home? What does that have to do with my sniffles?
Yeah,
I'm not allergic to brass. I can promise you.
No. And none of my firearms, them crazy ones, that jump up and just run and start shooting people,
right,
unattended. Yeah, unattended.
Yeah,
and that's just us against them, dude.
Yeah, and I may or may not have some of those black scary guns. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying I don't. You know,
Well,
but
first and foremost, man, it is zero somebody's business
absolutely
on what I legally have or don't have.
Absolutely.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero, zero, zero. I can't think of any reason why anybody on the planet, except for my wife, because it's not my money or my stuff, it's our stuff.
Right.
It's our money. It's she's the only person on the planet that has any
business
knowing anything that I may or may not possess.
Right.
And it seems like they want it to be everybody's business.
Well, and you know, this is another thing I saw in the armed attorneys. Something underhanded that's going on, and by the way, they got caught at it. The ATF was intentionally going after small gun stores, trying to shut them down. And once that gun store gets shut down, the ATF then takes possession of all of their records.
So they have a gun registry.
They have a gun registry, and a federal. There was a federal case that took place, and they got caught at it. And federal judge demanded that they destroy all those records. I don't know if they did or not.
No,
Probably not.
No, they did just like they did the January 6th records. They found those, but they're all encrypted. They tried to destroy, but didn't destroy them all. But what they destroyed, they got all encrypted, and nobody knows the password. Are you kidding me?
The government hiding stuff from the government. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing, and it's just once again so us against them mentality, and oh my God, it doesn't need to be.
No.
I mean, wasn't the design of this country for sure.
Well, and it's not just citizens and government. The government is also dividing the citizenry as an us against them.
Oh, sure.
And I'll tell you what, the alphabet soup crap that we're seeing, the LGBTQIA plus question mark, all that stuff, as much of a focus as that is, that's intentional. Because they know it's a divisive issue. That's intentional.
Sure. So is the black and white issue.
Right.
It's intentional. The whole racism, it's intentional. It's all, it's to divide us. The mask, no mask.
Yeah.
Vaccine, no vaccine.
Yep.
COVID denier, climate change denier. Everything is to divide us because they don't. We talked about this the last podcast.
Yeah. A house divided against itself.
Well, there's a whole lot more of us than them.
Yeah.
A whole lot more of us than them, and our voice together is something that you have no choice but to reckon with because we could eliminate it all, but if we stood together. But we're so
interestingly enough, we're seeing in different segments of our society, we're seeing the citizens wake up to this stuff, and they're starting to push for unity, and they're making changes.
Just saw. Some Democrat the other day, he was a black guy, he's some representative, and he officially changed his party to Republican. Mm-hmm. He said, I've been lied to and fed nonsense and BS.
Yep.
And now he said, and a lot of it is over this illegal migration.
Oh gosh, the border is just destroying.
And he
said
any
credibility they have.
Yeah, he said that we're being replaced by a lower class.
Kind of a racist way to put that, but
well, it's a lower class of financial people.
Right.
They're moving homeless people in.
Yeah.
In areas where people are already struggling to make a living. Well, no matter what color you are, in this area, they're struggling to make a living, and now you move homeless people in and give them money.
Well, we talked about this when it happened, but there was a school in Brooklyn where they sent letters home with the kids saying their kids aren't coming to school tomorrow because we're housing.
Did you hear what happened in New York yesterday?
What's that?
2 cops got, for lack of a better word, got the hell beat out of them by a group of migrants. 8 of them were arrested.
Let's clarify something real quick, and I want to hear the rest of the story. But we're falling into their trap. We're calling them migrants. They're not migrants. They're illegal aliens.
Okay, all right. Well, there was a large group of illegal aliens, and they was kind of getting disruptive. And the cops go over to clear them out, settle them down like they would any other citizen of the United States. And if you didn't listen, obey, or pay attention, and I hate the word obey, but if you're causing disturbance,
right,
you're forcing this cop to do his job.
Yeah.
I don't try to force the cop to do his job, and then he wants to come over and tell me to obey or comply. I have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, you're gonna have zero authority me until I broke the law. But if you're causing disturbance, now you've created a situation where he needs to do his job.
Right.
And then for doing their job, which is all these states defund the police, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, get rid of the police. See how that works out.
Yeah.
We've got to.
Well, Oakland, California, right now we're seeing exactly how that works out.
Yeah, but these cops go over to tell these people to these illegal settle down, these illegal aliens to settle down and disperse, and move along or get to their shelters or wherever they're supposed to be. And of course they're like, I don't think so. And we're not doing nothing. Go F yourself and whatnot. And it went. Then they were going to arrest two of them for being disorderly. And when they went to arrest them, they were attacked, knocked to the ground, kicked in the face, beat the hell out of.
Wow.
There was 8 of them arrested. 4 of the ones arrested had prior arrest for assault in the recent past because they're illegal migrants and been here very long. All of them got released with no bail. All of them.
Isn't that
all
amazing?
Of them with no bail. No bail at all.
Yeah.
So there's 0 consequences for beating the hell out of a policeman now. Yeah. That's now become okay.
Right.
Are you kidding me?
In 2020, do you remember them throwing buckets of water on cops and stuff like that? And nothing happened.
And I just can't imagine. I know I say a lot of things negative about our police forces, and just because of what I see. But I can't imagine being one of those police.
No.
I just can't imagine.
I did it for years, and I wouldn't want to do it.
0 respect. We've talked about this. Even when we was hoodlums, man, when the police caught up to us, we had respect. We knew, me and Mom talked about that at the restaurant, not us being hoodlums.
Yeah.
But we were always respectful. Mm-hmm. Even when we were in trouble and we were doing wrong, we were like, okay, we're caught. And we were, yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. We know we're going to get in trouble further from our dad.
Oh, yeah.
But the last thing he wanted them to say, and he was disrespectful.
Right.
Oh, my.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you did, it's not going to be overlooked.
Right.
It's not going to be overlooked.
Yeah.
You are in a hot water, as they say.
But all you're doing is adding to your own misery.
If you add that disrespect to the whatever you did.
Yeah. Lee T's going to handle that.
That's a whole separate new punishment when he gets through with the first one.
Yeah.
Then he'll address that second charge.
Yeah.
It's not even consecutive. What do they call that? Concurrent.
Concurrent, yeah. No, that's a whole new, you're right.
But it's I just, like I said, I just can't imagine being a cop nowadays.
Right.
Who's the lady who got this woman that used all the money, her campaign money for her own personal?
Oh, Cori Bush.
Yeah, her own personal deal. And she was one of the biggest ones. Defund the police. Get rid of the police.
And she's spending all this money on private security.
Yeah, except for me. Don't and hired her own husband or.
Oh, yeah. Who's not licensed as a security officer?
I heard her say the other day on a news release how he had extensive experience as a security officer.
Yeah. So
maybe he's been doing it maybe that's the security officer's way of doing it pro bono.
Right.
I don't know. No.
He didn't do it pro bono. He got paid a lot of money.
I was going to say, because I know when I went to work in the security field, I had to get that little license that said that I'm a licensed security officer.
That's right. You got to have it.
I had to have it.
So there is there's a famous hamburger company, restaurant. They were in San Diego. They're all over the West Coast. It's called In-N-Out Burgers.
Yeah.
And In-N-Out Burgers,
I know where you're going.
They're like smash burgers. They're really good food. Greasy.
Oh, they're greasy delight. Yeah, I love
them. They have been a company. I think I've got this right. 57 years now. And in 57 years, now this is how good they are and how popular they are. In 57 years, they have opened all of these stores and they've never closed one.
Wow.
They've never closed a store. Until last week. In Oakland, California, they closed their location in Oakland, California.
And wasn't it one of the originals? It was like
I don't know. I don't know if it's one
I want to say it was. I want to say it's one of the starting points of that company. I heard something on this.
Then 3 days later, Denny's announced that they're shutting down their locations in Oakland, California. And the reason that both companies cite is employee and customer safety. The crime has gotten so bad that it's dangerous to go to work.
Or dangerous to go eat at that restaurant.
That's right. And so, and it's funny, it's not theft. Walgreens and Walmart and all these other big retailers, they all shut down because they couldn't handle the theft.
Big grocery store in Chicago shut down because of the theft. And the community is so mad at them.
Oh, yeah. How dare you?
Now, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, where am I supposed to go shoplift now that you
shut
down?
That's a whole lot of extra gas I've got to burn.
Oh, my goodness.
Where have we gone to, man?
And now San Francisco, downtown San Francisco.
Ooh, Joe Rogan was talking about this.
Describing it as a ghost town.
The other day he was talking about
these
this.
Shuttered buildings.
He said it is absolutely gone.
Yeah.
He said that
there is
gone.
No business in downtown.
He said, Rogan, he used to be
downtown.
He used to be California boy.
Yeah.
Hard left.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was like, and he said,
I've never voted for a Republican.
Yeah. And he was like, I've always been, that California. He said it just saddens me.
Yeah.
He said San Francisco's gone. He said now they get it back. All the stuff is still there. All the structures.
Yeah, the buildings are still there. But,
he said,
but you and I both know what happens when a building sits unoccupied for a period of time.
Yeah, it's bad.
The decay accelerates significantly.
Just not opening and closing the front door.
Yeah.
Just that.
Yeah.
Just that. If you use the whole inside of the building, but you never went in and out of the front door. Just that, over just a little bit of time, you would begin. Your seals will start to dry out. Right. Your hinges will start to rust. The screws in your threshold, because you're not sweeping it no more. You're not cleaning. Right. You're not doing things. You're not operating, moving it, and just that. And it wouldn't take very long.
No. And you got these. I mean, you think about San Francisco. That was the jewel of the West Coast in the 1800s. That is such a historic area.
And
you think about the gold rush, California gold rush. San Francisco was the place, man.
And now it's just like Joe Rogan said. He said it's just gone.
Yeah. And everything that was there has been replaced with needles and drug addicts and homeless.
Yep.
And feces on the street. You heard about the poop app, right? There's an app.
No.
If you live in San Francisco, there's an app that you can download on your phone, and it will tell you where the poop is on the sidewalk.
See, I almost thought you was going to say you could report seeing poop.
You can.
Lord.
That's how it works. Yeah, you see it and report it, and then I see it on my phone, and I know to avoid that spot.
Kind of like traffic jams around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Like construction work around here.
Exactly.
I'm at a loss, dude.
No, at a loss. Telling you.
And why is it there's so much crime? I mean, like, are the cops in on the crime, or are there just no cops? There's just not enough police to cover them big giant areas. I don't get.
San Francisco and Oakland are two of those cities that back in 2020 cut their law enforcement budget probably in half.
And then they got their DAs don't prosecute to a certain thing. Rogan was saying that they moved the shoplifting up.
Oh yeah, past $900.
Past the 900 now.
Yeah.
Now it's moved up past the 900
because
they were getting a few people that were stealing a little beyond that 900, and they were having to prosecute.
That means you could steal a brand new Glock.
But only 10-round magazines.
Well, yeah.
Only 10-round magazines. But you get a handful of them.
That's right.
If you went back the next day, you get
get the ammo. Yeah. Oh Lord.
Where like I said, where are we going?
I saw a thing. This was.
And once again, that's us against them.
Yeah. There was a city council woman in San Francisco. And I want to say she was carjacked or something like that. And
I've seen that.
Now, here's the funny thing about it. She was one of the primary ones pushing for defund the police in San Francisco.
Well,
and she was complaining to the chief of police in a public hearing that when she called the police after she was a victim of a crime, it took them, however long to get out to them.
Too long.
And she's responsible for their budget cuts.
Well, these sanctuary cities voted for it, and now they're hollering, we don't like it. We wanted to be a sanctuary city until we had to be one.
Yeah.
It's like that person that says, hey, man, if you need anything at all,
anything at all.
Anything.
Anytime.
I mean it. I mean it.
Yeah.
I mean it now.
Oh, man, I can't do it today.
If you don't call me, I'm going to be upset.
Right.
You're like, all right, dude, all right. And then you call them in. Like, is today Tuesday?
Yeah.
You're like, no, dude, it's Wednesday. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I wished it was Tuesday.
Yeah.
I was hoping it was Tuesday. See, it's Wednesday, so that's not going to work.
Yeah, I can't help on Wednesdays.
He said, well, I can do it tomorrow. Yeah, but that makes tomorrow Thursday, right? Now I'm going to be pretty busy on Thursday. And Friday's kind of, what's the last day you can do that? Saturday? Damn, I could help you on Monday.
Isn't that something? Yeah.
Well, let me push it to Monday. You know what? My wife just yelled. She's got something else going.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, and then in along the same lines, it's like people, and we talked about this before, and I talk about it a lot. It's like people when they say, "I'll pray for you."
Yeah.
And then they walk away, and it's out of sight, out of mind. And I heard a guy say this one time. He said, "Don't use those words unless you actually mean them, because when you tell somebody, 'I'll pray for you,' you're making a compact between you, them, and God."
Never look at it that way.
Yeah. And
that's serious.
And then you're not living up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes your word kind of stink. And sometimes it's not, I don't want to say it's not your fault, because it is. You're the one that did it. But sometimes, especially in your position, we'll say, you were in a habit of doing that when you were leaving church.
Right.
And somebody said, hey, after you done all the praying, you were leaving. You were on out the door. And somebody said, hey, Pastor Clay, I need you. And, I'll pray for you. And then as you're walking out, somebody else caught you in the parking lot. And then another one called you on the phone to tell you something in the sermon really hit home. You talked to him for 15 minutes because he really needed that confirmation of something. Man, you forgot.
Yeah.
And honestly forgot.
And that's why 99% of the time, if one of you all sees me out in public and you walk up to me and ask for prayer, I don't care where we're at. We could be right there in Jimmy's Egg. I'm going to reach out and grab your hand, and I'm going to pray for you right there. If it's going to embarrass
you, don't ask me where we're standing.
That's right.
Throw me over to the side.
That's right.
Because here we go. Because I don't, man, you just don't miss them opportunities either.
Yeah.
Just don't. You don't know what necessarily that person's going through and what that means. Not that your prayer, it does mean something, but not that your prayer carries a certain kind of merit.
Yeah, it's not like
but the fact that you're taking time to lift that person in prayer, may be what they need.
Absolutely, 100%.
That may be what they
100%.
And just that I don't know, that confirmation, that boost of faith, that I don't know, little energy that you give.
I will never ever for the rest of my life forget. You're laying in your hospital bed post-surgery in excruciating pain.
Well, that was fun
because they gave him an IV, and the IV
with some really good drugs.
The vein blew out.
Yeah,
what it was.
Like immediately.
And so the IV was just filling in empty spaces in your arm, and it wasn't getting in your bloodstream. And for 3 days, you essentially had no pain medication.
I kept telling them too, it was hurting real bad.
And so it's probably 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to sleep in this short little hard recliner beside you, and this little Muslim nurse comes in wearing the hijab and everything, and she was as sweet as could be. And what I remember is I woke up to you two having a conversation, and then you said, "Can I pray for you?" And you grabbed her hand. You're laying there in excruciating pain, and you're praying for her because of what's going on in her life. I'll never forget that, man.
Don't miss them opportunities.
And I guarantee you she'll never forget that either.
Yeah, and nor will I.
Yeah.
Nor will I. That was a rough little trip to the hospital.
That was a rough couple of weeks. It was. Well, and the month before.
Yeah.
Good
I
Lord.
I hobbled around with that broke knee.
Flopping, man, hanging by threads. Good Lord.
Literally by meat.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Uh-huh. And the funny thing is we both know when we're butchering a deer how to separate those joints with a knife.
Yeah.
I imagine you were pretty getting to the point of being tempted.
I could have got in there and reattached it, I sure would.
Oh, yeah. But look at you now.
I know.
Look at you now.
Only half crippled.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Oh, getting along a lot better.
An adventure. And here's the thing: I hate driving in Dallas.
Oh God!
And I don't know how many trips I took down there while you were in that hospital, and subsequent appointments afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh Lord. But
The appointments are good.
Yeah, because Joe's Crab Shack is afterwards.
Either Joe's Crab Shack or Papa Do's.
Yeah,
man, and either one of them are delicious.
Oh man, that Cajun steam pot.
I was going to say, I had to say that I favor Joe's.
Oh, me too. I
favor Joe's.
Papa Do's is good. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, it's wonderful.
But Joe's is where it's at, man.
Papa Joe's is nothing to snub your nose to.
I half wish we had one around here, and I'm glad we don't.
I'm glad we don't.
I'd be broke.
I am glad we don't, man.
That's $50 every time you walk in that joint.
Then it'd be hard pressed for me to not walk in that joint once a week.
Oh, I know it. Yeah, you'd have to take on a part-time second job just to pay for your Joe's habit.
Maybe I could become a dishwasher at Joe's.
There you go. That'd work. Oh man.
Just like work, whatever day off I have, work a night shift.
Yeah.
Just be a dishwasher, hide in the back, wash dishes, and let them pay me with a steam pot.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, we're bumping up on that hour mark, believe it or not. And
wow.
Yeah, I know, time flies. And I want to close this out by just saying to Shauna and to Alex, I'm so proud of both of you, and I'm so excited for the adventures that you all are. I'll tell you, from my time in the military, I had some adventures, and here I am, an old man. Years later, I'm 56 years old. I was in my 20s when I was in the military, so a long time ago. And yeah, sometimes I think back on some of those adventures and still chuckle. It's something that you'll carry for the rest of your life.
Enjoy them, embrace them,
and on top of that, for the rest of your life, you will have been somebody who served in our military.
That's right.
You're a veteran, and
that's something to be proud of.
Small, proud group.
That's right. Something to be proud of, without a doubt. You carry it forever.
That's right.
Carry it with pride forever. And that oath you took, it does not have an expiration date.
That's right. Now,
all you other veterans, especially you Texas veterans, remember that, and remember what he said about this VA trick. And y'all be careful.
Yep. Be
careful what you sign. Careful what you put your name to.
That's right. Now, having said all of that, with Shauna and Alex, I can't let this part slide. Yeah, I'm proud of them, but Navy and Air Force, really? I mean, you could have walked across the hall to the Army recruiter and done it right.
Well, I know.
At
least they didn't join the National Guard.
Well, or the Marine Corps.
Yeah. Well, Alex couldn't eat enough crowns.
Right.
He failed on the crown test. And he was way too smart.
I tried to get in the Marine Corps.
His IQ test he was way too smart.
Yeah, I tried to get in the Marine Corps. They found out my parents were married, so I was overqualified.
Yeah. Both his feet were the same size.
Yeah.
And so he did not qualify.
I tried to get in the Air Force too. They found out I could do more than 10 push-ups, so I was overqualified.
He liked that part, I think.
All right, y'all. Well, I'll tell you what. We never said any of it. If you like what you're seeing, if you enjoy our conversations, like, comment, and subscribe. If
you don't, well,
that's all right.
Keep scrolling,
that's right. There's a lot that
we don't want your opinion either. If you don't like it, we don't want you.
That's right.
I don't care.
Definitely look up the Armed Attorneys. If you're not subscribed to them, it is definitely a channel that's worthwhile of subscribing to. One of the things they do a lot of is they keep an eye out on any laws that are coming down the pike or any regulations that affect gun rights, and they will make sure that you're aware. They're a really good organization.
And also, if anybody has any clue to this, I need a little help. I hear that California is paying $300 not to shoot people.
Yeah,
I haven't shot anybody either in California or here.
Right.
At all.
Right.
So is that like
retroactive
per year?
Every month.
Every month?
Every month. $300 a month.
And I just turned 60.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I can get reparations.
Right.
Was that wrong? Should I not have said that?
I think it was perfectly right.
Well, I mean,
they're
paying criminals $300
a month
to not kill folks.
Yeah. I'm going to pay you not to break the law, and there you go. But here's the thing: you have to apply for this program, and you have to meet certain criteria.
What, like being an ex-killer?
I guess
somebody that would kill.
Yeah.
Because if it was somebody that wouldn't kill, why would you pay them not to kill?
Right.
I mean, that just don't make no sense.
That sweet little grandmother that lives over on Oak Street, she doesn't get $300 a month for not killing people.
Yeah. She come on.
The world we live in, man, it is definitely a clown world. Folks, we appreciate y'all so much.
Bizarre world. Take time to be kind to somebody today.
That's right. It doesn't cost you a dime, and it can change somebody's life. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for tuning in. God bless you guys, and we will see you next time.